Greetings and salutations, my fellow Entropians. What's going on? Welcome to my apartment. Treasure Island, floor 17, apartment F in the Copper building. Yeah, that's right. We'll be doing some more Easter Mayhem today. I think we're going into rank 11 in Assault. Yeah. It's been progressively getting harder and harder. I don't really have anything too much to talk about on the whole Mayhem situation or anything like that today. I just wanted to touch base with you with a real down-to-earth video where I just sit here and talk to you about my insanely random ramblings of stuff about Entropia Universe. Yeah, that's right. And I think, honestly, what I really want to cover today stems around, like, a lot of people have never found this game. They don't know that this game exists. But to everybody that gets introduced to this game through, like, some, like, big YouTuber that comes by, swings by, and does their little deep dive that never seems to scratch the surface of the game, and then everybody like gets to have like some sort of like wrong idea about Entropia, because to be completely honest, some players in Entropia Universe have no idea about Entropia Universe, and they've been playing it for years. You know who you are, you bunch of noobs. But no, seriously, like a lot of people, they discover Entropia Universe and they're all automatically they're repulsed by it. Mostly because like the way video games have been going nowadays, like, yeah, it's free to play. And jump right in. Here, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. These are all available for you to buy. Entropia was here before all of that, doing the same thing, except for one major thing. Is you can actually withdraw money from this game based off of whatever economic stuff that you've put into this game, the work, or just getting insanely lucky, which I don't even think is possible anymore. The entire luck factor in this game is kind of kaput. You kind of really have to knuckle down and go through it like mathematically and get your profits somehow, like buy low, sell high. I don't know, or invest in the deeds and shares, invest in a good land area, promote it properly. There's a lot of people that look in and they're like, oh wow, so somebody mortgaged their house to buy an asteroid and then they sold it for 3 times the amount. That's crazy. Thinking that you need like to mortgage your house to play this game. Like, especially the people that come in and mortgage their house and like all they do is hunt like the biggest mobs, and they don't even have the correct skills for it, let alone like the right gear. So they're losing money hand over fist, and next thing you know, they're living out on the streets. They can't even afford to play anymore because they had to pawn their computer just to get some extra fuel for their gas tank because they're sleeping in their car. Yeah, that's not how you play Entropia. Like, seriously, like, don't be dumb. This is a game. Play it for fun. Play it slowly over time. You don't need to deposit like $1 bazillion just to be able to enjoy Entropia. You don't. I mean, you can enjoy the game free. If you're like wanting to roll around and talk to people and stuff like that through still text chat. I really wish that this game had some voice proximity, but alas, I don't think that they're ready to hear all those voices and moderate what people say and stuff, because that would be crazy. You're gonna have like people following people, like trash talking. It's gonna be a whole new rookie chat. It would be like voice prox. Why am I even talking about this? Oh my god. Hold on, give me a second. Clearly the Adderall has worn off for the day. So yeah. at any rate, listen, like, people, they get the wrong idea about this game. It's crazy. It's like, and then you have some of these other videos like, you can make a living working in this game. Yeah, maybe. Like, I wouldn't. You really gotta like know how to crunch numbers, but like, and then people are like, I don't want to work in a video game. Like, yeah, no one does. No one really does, and that's why a lot of people they play this game for fun. They really do, and they hope for the Hoff. They pray for the Hoff. They want to get that big lucky swirly. Yeah, I get it. I like it when it happens too. It's very excitement filled. I love a good swirl. But like, I don't understand why people just, you know, don't just hop in and try to play Entropia Universe. It's not that hard of a game, but I guess like when it comes down to spending money and the aspect that you might be able to withdraw some money once you're done playing, it's just lost on people. They'd rather go play something, you know, more flashy, I guess. But most of those more flashy games, they have you buying cosmetics, and people will spend a lot of money on cosmetic items, and they'll never see a dime of that money returned to them whatsoever. Like, in my case, I when I was playing Fallout 76, yeah, I would buy the Atomic Shop items because I was getting like a decent amount of money from doing the YouTube videos. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I have this much extra, and it's because of this game. I might as well throw a little bit of money this way. And then with the rest, I put in Entropia, buying more deeds and shares. It's the truth. It's definitely the truth. So, like, it is what it is. Like, I would basically buy deeds and shares so I could, like, play in the future without having to throw too much money at the game. Which I think I'm, like, right at that cusp right now. Like, I just bought, like, $100 in keys, and $100 in keys, and now I have a little bit of money from the deeds and shares passively every week, and technically every day, and I got repair bill money. I can probably keep this going, not making any more deposits, unless it's to I really want a little bit of extra ammo. It is what it is. I think I'm like there. I'm like at that sweet spot where I can just play. Is like moderately, not like going crazy every day with like 16 hours a day, but maybe like an hour here or there every other day. Completely doable with the amount of deeds and shares I've accrued and the weekly payments. Like I'm there, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would love to be there too. And just think, if I was to probably save up like a lot longer without playing, I mean, I could probably buy a land area in the future. It'd take a couple years, but I don't know if I want to do that, because I still like playing. I still like going out for a random hunt every now and then. And now that Annihilation's gone from Mayhem, I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to go out and hunt regular stuff now, because the game has changed, and maybe for the better, maybe for the worse, I don't know. But I guess I can, you know, probably do a format like this, play the game, and record every last bit of it, every single hunt I do, like I used to do, and that way I'll make whatever money I have last, stretch it out, and make content out of every last bit of it. And then you guys will have something to watch maybe every day, you know, depending on how much work I put in. I think today I have done like 3 or 4 videos for Entropia, just to have some on the backlog and just send it forward. So I release one every single day and then make more and just have like a backlog that I can just release every single day. Just that way you get content every day out of like me working a little while. But I will say this, like, it's a little bit more work on the back end of things. Like, I get to stop, pause, and like walk around in between, like I'd say like verbal takes. Like, I can just like stop the recording right now and just be like, go chill for like a few minutes. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Hell yeah. The option's there. But yeah, like, and then I could like maybe research something in between, you know, like, I just find something new to talk about. But in all honesty, back on the sheer topic on hand, the fact that, you know, I don't understand why people don't get it. Like, people don't get the whole aspect of Entropia Universe, you know, including some players. But it's a real cash economy. Like, yes, everything costs a little bit of money, but everything comes out to an output. You get skills and loot back. A lot of people are really upset right now because we're not getting as much loot as we need, and or the loot that we get is low markup. There's barely any demand, you know, stuff like that. But like, honestly, there's reasons behind that too. Like, sometimes the demand isn't there because a lot of these other aspects of the game are just not too fleshed out. Like, how many people are really out there buying clothes all the time, you know? Like, not too many people. And usually when they do, it's like a one-time purchase, and then, you know, nobody's like sitting there with wardrobes full of clothing. And if people did happen to do something like that, then maybe some of these textures would have a little bit more markup to them, which means like maybe leathers would have, like, you know, leathers and hides of animals would have a little bit more markup and stuff like that. But alas, you know, that's not the case right now. Maybe if there were more players in the game wanting to buy stuff, but a lot of people in Entropia, they play really cheaply. They play so cheap, which, you know, it's not always a bad thing to be cheap, but in some respects it is kind of a bad thing to be cheap in a real cash economy, because if you're being cheap, you're not really giving to the economy as much as you could, and that will affect other people's means of, you know, making their runs a little bit more profitable or evenish. So if everyone's going to be so cheap, you know, it affects the economy. It definitely does. It does affect the supply and demand if you're like always just, you know, watching and penny pitching, you know. To me, sometimes if you want to go out and buy some luxurious item, you know, like, go ahead and try to pay a luxurious price and make someone happy, you know, just by buying something, you know, of a decent make and model. But of course, you know, most of the high-end items, you know, like all of these high-efficiency weapons that people are getting from the Mayhem traders, and, you know, all the twin like anniversary items or whatever that have really decent efficiencies, those take the prominence. Those are like the highly sought after items that people are wanting to trade in, leaving most of the common items just, you know, not all that great, you know. But some of these items, they take a lot to craft, like the R Matrix. I know people want to get their R Matrix for really cheap, but, you know, some of the items that go into that, you know, it takes a little bit of money to craft with that. And what I really don't understand is the fact that miners get really upset whenever Mayhem comes around. It's like, well, Mayhems have nothing to do with miners. And I'm sitting there pulling my hair out. I was like, no, you're wrong. It has a lot to do with mining, because people have to get their R Matrix guns, and those are pretty good guns for some Mayhem. Yeah, it's true. So they're like, no, I'm not making any money off Mayhem. No, you're supplying the materials used to make the weapons for Mayhem. Like, trust me, I've made many R Matrixes. Miners are very important for Mayhem. It's just they don't they don't participate. They're just out there mining. So it's like it doesn't really apply to them, but when in actuality it does. Maybe markups go up a little bit and they're able to sell a little bit faster or something, you know. But a lot of the crafters out there, they stockpile some of these items like crazy, so they don't have to pay huge markups whenever the time comes around to do it. Like I got a lot of like backup R matrix crafting items in my storage just for the time when I'm gonna, you know, make some R matrices, you know. But all in all, that's what's really funny about an economy. Like you never know which input's gonna affect you, you know. Like miners are pretty much like the crafter's best assistant, but there are a lot of loot that hunters get that goes into crafting as well, and it's mostly the most simplest of loot you can think. It's the animal muscle oil and all the animal oils. Those are primary ingredients in crafting a lot of all the weapons of the R matrix variety. It's very true, you know. So when people are like really upset that all they get is animal muscle oil, they got so much of it and they're so angry and sad that the markup's so low, you got to understand the crafters have to craft with it, so they have to keep their stuff a little bit low, but there is a margin that you can actually get some money off of it. And that's what you got to play off of. Especially if you're a trader, you can get it for cheap because somebody's going to want to get rid of it really quick, because maybe they have like a small stack of it, and then all you got to do as a trader is basically layer that stuff up, get it from many different sources, and then pop down a good stack of 100 or even more, and then try to adjust the price to be lower than your competitor, and then try to make sure that whatever price you get is like higher than what you paid for it, and then you get to pocket the profits. Plain and simple, man. The easy peasy is the way to go with all of this. But still, the fact of the matter is like there's a lot of people like in other games that would love to find a game like Entropia Universe, especially the more market-oriented players of some of these games out here, these MMOs that actually have like auction houses and all this other stuff. That there's just sitting there like trading in virtual items for virtual money when they could be here trading in virtual items for real money. You know, it is what it is. Now, I know that people just have no idea that this game exists, and I'm hoping that I can be one of those people that reaches out to them, but it's a hard job to do. It really is. It really is. But of course, I honestly think it's a hard job because the fact of the matter is just like Mindark could be, well, can they do better? You know, they have to like add a little bit more to the game, and they've been adding stuff to the game, which is great. But there still needs to be a little bit more. There needs to be a little bit more to the economy. There needs to just be more stuff. And of course, we can't just like always rely on these high-end, you know, unlimited items, which they're, you know, doing something about that. But what happens when there's like a big influx of players and they do decide to stick around? And those items are going to be worth some money, you know, because there's going to be more people. And then they're moving into like a limited state. You know, so if you have an unlimited item, yeah, you're gonna be sitting pretty. You're gonna be sitting pretty here in the future. I promise you that. So I'm probably gonna keep a hold of my BC30. Like I said, I'm probably not getting rid of it anytime soon, like ever. But I have a feeling that my next unlimited item is gonna be really hard to get a hold of, and I might not be able to afford it. But it is what it is. But I mean, there still needs to be some more added faucets into the economy, you know, to basically kind of give like a cushion of markup to the gatherers out there, while also remaining cheap enough for crafters to craft. It's a balancing act. It really is. But don't get it twisted. I understand a lot of people want to sell their items for a high markup, and sometimes it cycles through to high markup times, and then that's when people start to try to sell all their stuff whenever it's the highest markup it's ever been. And that is one tactic of holding on to your loot until it's time to sell, knowing whenever it's time to sell. But with more of the common items that drop, it's a little bit hard to do that, but completely doable, because you never know when the price point's gonna raise a couple of percent, you know, like 102 to 104. That's kind of a big deal. It's a little bit of extra money, you know, like, but whenever it comes to like tier components, yeah, oh my god, those things are expensive. And then it is what it is. Oh my god, it looks like I'm dying here. You can do it. Heal, 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 heal. Yeah, this, I'm gonna let you guys know, this was intense. Very intense mayhem action right here. And I was having a really good time with it. But, I mean, what it all boils down to is, like, I think that a lot of people in the internet community, when it comes down to playing games, I don't think that me and just have, like, any extra money or anything like that to risk on playing a video game that they're not sure that they're gonna like. So they're like, no, I'm just not in it. But for most of the people that, you know, actually understand the whole economic aspect of things, they tend to enjoy it and enjoy Entropia Universe. And then you also, I mean, this game also attracts the gambler type, you know, every once in a while, like, oh, we're gonna make big money, we just gotta invest in the right things and we'll make big money. And that's not always the case, but unless they are investing in the right things, like a good land area. But then, you know, most land area owners find out really quick that you have to promote your land, and that's your full-time job, is to promote your land. Good events and good perks, good reasons why you want to come and hunt the land. Shout out to Mutation Station and the Corb Coast former owner David Joker Patanis, you know, both in the Diabolical Dominion. Go play on Mutation Station on Arc. He's doing great things. Slump Dog is. But yeah, like, some people like really think this stuff out when they get into the game. Once they find out, you know, oh, it's a real cash economy and there's land areas, that's one way to make money. And then they find out, well, I got to put some time and effort into this to make it something great. And yeah, that's what you got to do. Nothing's going to come to you for free, you know. Like, you got to put in some work, and that usually pays off with almost anything that you do. So I don't know. Maybe people think that it's going to be too much work, but in actuality, you know, it's also fun. It's a lot of fun, this game is, especially trying to figure out stuff, and you find out an item exists and you want to see what the market looks like on it, and like, can I get more of this item, especially if it's a common item that has good markup, and you know you can get like a pretty decent amount. And then next thing you know, the next patch, the drop rate changes, and you're like sad because that was your way to make money. That happens. That definitely does happen. And you just got to adapt. In this game, you have to adapt to it. This is the nature of the beast. But like, whenever I sit here and I try to explain what Entropia Universe is to someone that doesn't know what Entropia Universe is, I get the, oh, that's cool, you can pull money out of the game. Like, yeah, but everything costs money to do. Like, you have to buy ammo for your gun. Oh, and your gun breaks. And then they're like, oh no. Like, but dude, like, there is nothing in this world that's for free, except for like a free game that doesn't give you money. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a difference. Like, there is a way to make money in this game, but I mean, for the most part, most of us don't really make money in this game. A lot of us don't. Let's just be real. We play the game for fun. Like, we really do. And yeah, we get mad that we can't play for like 16 hours a day every day because we don't have the money to do that. You know, like that's the sad part. But you know, if you are taking care of yourself and like doing everything right in life, you know, and just playing like a couple hours a day, you could really stretch your dollar out. But unfortunately, you know, some of us no-lifers, we like to just go hard, man. We definitely do. Trust me, I know. I like to go hard too. But then I'm like, oh no, I have no money. I can't put more money in the game. Oh no. But the last thing on my mind is like, oh, Mindark took all my money. The absolute truth is, in my case, all of my money ends up going into my storage, and I forget all about stacks of items that I need to sell. And then whenever I finally do sell those items and I get a nice stack of PED, I buy deeds and shares with it, and I'm broke. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And it's sad because half of me being broke is just me buying a bunch of deeds and shares and then having to sit on them every week and get some dividends so I can play longer. While I'm sitting there trying to pay off my credit cards, because I bought all the deeds and shares. I cycled once and just invested everything in deeds and shares. It's my fault. It's not Mindark's fault. It's not. They didn't take all my money. I didn't give them all my money. I just bought a whole bunch of deeds and shares off of everybody else. It is what it is. But I mean, on the plus side is I'm sitting pretty, like, always putting money into the deeds and shares. Dollar cost averaged a few things, and some of those things ended up going up in price. We all know from the Deeds and Shares show, if you watch that regularly, how all that works, and how happy I am with my portfolio of Entropia. I think it's great. I think it's grand. But trying to get new players into the game, some people get really stoked until they find out, oh, you need a PC. Man, those poor console guys. They would love to play Entropia. They can't because they're playing on the Xbox or the PlayStation. I don't think I've ever met a Nintendo Switch user wanting to play a PC game, but I'm pretty sure that they exist somewhere out there in the world. I don't know, but listen, the fact of the matter remains, is like a lot of gamers are on console, man. Just imagine if Entropia got some console ports going on. Of course, Xbox and Sony would love to the Microsoft and Sony would love to get their hands on a little percentage of the deposits. I bet. Yeah, it's probably why you have to just be on PC. Because, man, let me tell you, I don't think Mindark or players, man. I don't think we want some of our share of profits and stuff going to like Sony or Microsoft. So, alas, that's where we're at. But yeah, I think more people should get PCs, in my honest opinion, so they can play Entropia. But I mean, I'm not sad at all at the fact that, you know, I have so much money invested in the game. The only thing I'll be sad is if the game ends. Then what is gonna happen? You know? But I mean, I don't think the game's gonna end. But man, the way so many people are so upset at Entropia, it keeps newer players from playing sometimes, I think. You know, all these disgruntled players running around going, oh, this game's a scam. And then somebody's like, that doesn't even fucking know anything about the games, like, they heard from that guy that said, oh, this game's a scam. And then next thing you know, like, oh, I don't want to play that. I've heard it was a scam. It's really not. Just don't listen to morons, like, for real. Because, like, some people just don't take personal responsibility, man. It's like they'll press forward, and even when they're like losing their ass, they will press forward and just keep pressing and pressing until like, yeah, they end up like not getting anything, you know. And yeah, it is kind of messed up that even happens, but in all honesty, like, dude, you should probably like maybe not go so crazy all the time. But I do understand the whole aspect of cycling a lot of PED. I've cycled some PED. Trust me, I know. And sometimes, yeah, it does work out to, oh, you're on a really bad losing streak. You should probably stop, but you know, that next one it might be the hit, and you know that's the kind of mindset you really should not be in. Like, that's why usually whenever I go out, it's like I want to get some of these common materials that, you know, usually always drop, and once I have enough, then I'm outie, man. I will pop a 1 hour skill pill and be like, all right, I'm gonna grind this out for like an hour. Whatever happens in that hour. But once that hour's up, I'm kicking rocks, bro. Like, and then you have other people that are sitting there, I don't know, probably like just with a macro, just like, and walk away, and they just have their little character botting and stuff, and then they come back and they're broke. I don't know how all this works, but all I'm saying is like, you should always be actively playing if you're going to be playing, you know. Like if you're doing like a Annihilation Mayhem grind, which we don't have anymore apparently, you know, it's always a good thing to like always like maybe look at what's going on every once in a while and be like, am I doing all right? Oh, it looks like I'm doing all right. Or it looks like I'm not doing all right. Maybe I should like stop because this is getting ridiculous, you know? So like, I really think it's the fault of the players, user error. It's not no scam. It's yo, you have drained the loot pool dry. Maybe you should go hunt something else, you know. But I don't know. When it comes down to other people, I mean, other people I think get in the way of Entropia's success with downright insanity. Whoa, that's a lot of strong boxes. Let's open them, huh? Yeah. But I don't know. I could be wrong. What are your opinions? Like, how would you basically get people to play this game? Like, down in the comments down below. Like, let's hear what you have to say. Did anything that I said in this entire video like strike any chords? Am I dumb? Am I a little bit retarded? Did I say the wrong thing? Did I say something you didn't like? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm just saying, but like, there shouldn't really be anything weird or anything in the video because it's just my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion, you know. It doesn't mean mine's right. It doesn't mean mine's wrong. It's just what I think. And sometimes what I think doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, let's go. Easter ring. Listen, I already know all the results, so I'm not gonna go too crazy. I'm just saying, we're just opening boxes here. But man, the Easter ring this year, ugh. Most of the new rings that have been coming out lately has just been, ugh. So I'm wondering how many more variations of the rings that they can actually make. He's probably racking their brain each season, right? Mindark, do you need help? Alright guys, I think the video is coming to an end. So make sure you go check out the Medusa Bazaar Shop 2-1, Floor 2 Shop 1. If you want to help out the free-to-play players by buying the stuff that I bought off of them, so I can like buy more stuff off of them with the proceeds, which is probably going to happen. I might be buying Nova fragments. Might be buying more sweat. I don't know. Just see what Luke has available, if I buy more sweat or not. But Definitely might buy some more fruit. I've been buying fruit too, so the sky is the limit on all that stuff. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I think that's it for this video today. Make sure you are gonna do awesome, and I hope you hoff and stuff. You know, maybe get that all-time high you've been talking about getting for years now. Go after that. Excitement. Excitement. Yeah. Bye.